Hello, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news. I hope you guys all enjoy. It's going to be a crazy episode. We have a lot of stories. They're going to be timestamped down below, as well as a CSGO giveaway. If you guys want to enter those or kind of bounce around to different subjects, a lot of great stories out there. And on top of that, a huge thank you to one of you guys who might be watching right now. Actually sent me a package. I'll be opening this in the back half of the episode. Quick shouts to Sam41 Gaming. If you guys know him, he actually makes IRL CSGO skins. I met him through CSGO. He sent me a package. So I feel like the need to open it at the back half of the episode. Anyway, though, let's hop into it. Some pretty crazy stories. First of which, Steel tweeted out this late last night: expect the unexpected. We have heard this term time and time again, but never from a guy like this who, at this point in time, let's be honest, there is nothing more unexpected than an iBuyPower unban. Now, it makes sense why I'm talking about this very, very briefly, but the only thing I really would be surprised by right now, because he could be joining other teams out there, right? We've heard rumors about him actually being benched on that Ghost roster for Sabrosa, and if that does come true, well, what would be better, right? We're at a CSGO major, Gaben comes out on stage alongside Steel, maybe Swag shows up in the background, and he says these two guys can now play again at the majors. But besides that, I'm actually very curious what this announcement will be. I'm super excited to see what it will be in the coming days. It's most likely, though, because for Katowice, if you guys do not know, the show match for the major will be a danger zone show match, and he can actually probably play those. I would assume he can abide by rules and actually play in a show match as long as it's not the actual major. And so if that's what it is, it'd be a bit anticlimactic, but either way, I thought I'd mention it to all of you guys, because also thanks to one of you viewers, his name is Aiden, huge thanks to him. He pointed this out. IEM also tweeted out the potential teams out there so far who have qualified for IEM Sydney. It's been a big story, at least on this channel, for the past 2 weeks. That, of course, being Swag, left alone on that Swole Patrol roster. His former roster went to E United, but they did qualify on Swole Patrol for IEM Sydney. They tweeted out a picture very recently, only a couple days ago, with the Swole Patrol logo still on there as a team who was actually qualified, which would likely mean that Swag himself, if he can field the roster, actually was able to keep his IEM Sydney spot, which is great news. So that was pretty cool if it does seem to be true, and hopefully it is. And good old Jame, right? Jame had an amazing major. If you guys don't know, a player for Avangar, an amazing major until he left the major and did some things, well, maybe he shouldn't do. If you guys were not aware of this, he had an Instagram post. It has since been taken down. I did screenshot it, but then I deleted the screenshot because I didn't think it was going to come of anything, unfortunately enough. But thanks to Kazakhstan, lack of translation into English language, people did not understand the joke. He was joking about being attacked by radical religious people. I don't know where this joke was going, but apparently he was not attacked. People on Twitter were freaking out because he had been, a pro player being attacked. It's like back to the Zeus days, but this was a bit more serious. Apparently he was joking. Avangar issue a public statement of apology, and yes, at the very end of that, this is just such a weird story. That's why it's so short. At the very end of their public apology for what he did, they say subscribe to PewDiePie. I just don't even know anymore. And also next up, talking about rosters out there that might be making changes after the major, right? Typically we do see, sometime after the major, a lot of teams that don't do very well actually do make roster changes. It makes a lot of sense. It's happened time and time again. One of the rosters certainly in question has been G2. The French scene in general, even people calling for Vitality to make changes, with both these rosters still experimenting with new players, can be a bit taken out of context. Either way, though, whether you guys think they need to make changes or not, it's actually Forbes first off reporting G2 raised another $17 million of funding in this last round. Along with that, though, of course, the overall question, how much of that money will be invested into their CSGO squad? Now, I'm also pulling a few tweets out there. I will link them down below. You guys can take them how you want to, but I thought it was very peculiar the way that Ocelote tweeted about some things in the past few weeks. Now, of course, we know G2 retained their major spot. That was actually pretty good. Vitality only made it a slight step further than them, and those are definitely two teams people think could still improve with player changes. But there was one tweet out there that Ocelote did caption, a tweet that was saying that the questions were still unanswered going forward about this G2 roster and continue to be unanswered. And then Ocelote captioned that and said, they are, though, like as in they are going to be answered soon. Our questions we have for this G2 roster that are not yet solved, he pretty much, in my opinion, you guys can derive what you think about this in the comment section down below, he pretty much said they are. The answers are coming soon for this roster, and this follows about 10 days prior. He did tweet out this. Now, they actually made it a bit further after this tweet did go live, and they still retained that spot after their chance of going 0-3 and losing their major spot. So still, they did fairly well, and definitely what was expected of them, right? They didn't go past what was expected. They didn't go short of what was expected. I think G2 landed this major exactly where they probably should have been, and they retained that major spot. But it does seem, now I could be blowing this out of proportion. It wouldn't be the first time, but it does seem Ocelote might be hinting, if not going to answer some questions, there might be a potential roster change or some change coming to G2 CSGO squad. You guys can tell me down below what you think about that. Am I being stupid? I don't know. I'll link the tweets down below. And also, a CSGO update yesterday did announce the viewer pass is now 50% off. It was kind of a joke right away, right? Wow, 50% off the viewer pass, but the first 2 stages of pick'ems are done, so why would people buy this? Although people like Jesus are taking the risk, and it might be a viable option to try and get a gold trophy, maybe a silver. You can still get a gold trophy by paying half the price everyone else did if you get every stage correct. Alongside that, you also have to watch every match. You have to watch a match for each and every stage: quarterfinals, semifinals, grand finals, and then you get that 1 free point for actually buying the viewer pass. So you can actually get 7 points and a gold trophy, pay half the price if you go 100%. I still wouldn't suggest it because, of course, you could still pay half price. You could get 2 or 3 points, maybe 4 points, end up with a bronze or not even a silver trophy. So either way, a risky option out there. I know some people are taking advantage of that. I wouldn't make fun of it too much though, because it still could be a viable option to get a much cheaper gold trophy. Now, on top of that out there, big announcement for all the people out there who thought Astralis did so in dominating fashion. They won the $1 million Intel Grand Slam last season. Season 2's been announced with a $1 million prize pool. I'm actually very surprised by this. I did not think the ROI on a $1 million Intel Grand Slam would be worth it for them. They've announced season 2 with the same prize pool, and Carmack also bringing a great rule for this change, which does say if a player competes for the Grand Slam on one team, he then leaves that team for another team competing for that Grand Slam, he can actually not get his cut of the money from his former team. That would mean, let's put it into some reference as well. Let's say Glaive for some reason leaves Astralis for Liquid. Astralis has won 3 of the 4 wins required. You have to win 4 Intel or ESL Premier events to actually get the $1 million total prize pool. Let's say Glaive leaves Astralis for Liquid, and once again, iconically, we have Liquid Astralis meet in the final of a Premier event. If Astralis wins, they get their 4th win and the $1 million prize pool. So this new rule actually does not allow, it ensures that players will not throw the game so their former teams win the Grand Slam. So that way he will not get a cut of that money if he does lose to Astralis. I hope that makes sense. It sounds confusing. It's a good rule though. It avoids player conflict. And also, very lastly, just kind of a question for you guys. It's also in the thumbnail as well. We do know for sure, it might be Zeus kind of getting over his hump right now. Pretty much day 1 of the major, Zeus had the flu along with Glaive. We know for sure Device also potentially has a flu, as well as a potential eye infection. My overall just question for you guys is, if there was any other team out there that had these issues, I would probably certainly, besides maybe Liquid as well, I would probably say it's going to affect their gameplay overall, right? To have these half a team be sick, possible eye infection for one of your better players and your opper would seem to have an effect on your overall gameplay. So I ask you guys down below, we know Astralis has these sick issues. Do you think it's going to affect a team like this? Like I said just a short minute ago, when it comes to teams like Liquid and Astralis, I expect they're always going to be 100%, but will this affect them negatively? We certainly do not know. I think it's going to be very curious how these guys play it out, and I do say that, of course, because the major playoffs begin tomorrow. I am super excited, and why I'm actually getting this video out there today is because I might not have a video tomorrow or Friday. I might not see you guys until Monday. So if I don't, hope you guys enjoy your weekends and your major playoffs. It's going to be so freaking insane. Sam's in the army, so he made this thing bulletproof. Now, I didn't tell you guys, but Sam is actually in Japan right now, so he actually sent me a bunch of Japanese snacks. Japanese Doritos, pizza in a bag. There, it just says cuckoo. If you guys watched my old channel, I've been waiting for this for the longest time, and you might not even be able to see it that well, but that is an Op Lightning Strike. Sam is actually an IRL skin maker. He makes these as well as life-size CSGO skins, and I've been waiting for this keychain for the longest time. It's an Op Lightning Strike. Thank you so much, Sam. I love you. And the very last thing, why I'm showing you guys this in the first place, because Sam has been messaging me like crazy. He did send me caffeine. If you guys know me, you know I love caffeine. Every video I make on here, I usually am pretty jacked on caffeine. And he sent me a bunch of little Japanese coffees, and he made sure to note to me as well, he can't read the labels that are in Japanese, so they could be decaf, they could be caffeinated, they could have extra caffeine, but he has no idea because he can't read Japanese. Sam, thank you so much. You are the man. And very lastly, he sent me as well some Japanese monster. So I cannot wait to eventually open a PO box if you guys want to send me stuff. I just felt the need to thank him on video. I won't always do this, but as always, my name is Jake. Thank you all for watching, and enjoy the major gameplay tomorrow, guys. It's going to be absolutely crazy, and if I don't see you tomorrow or Friday, I will be back here Monday, of course, breaking down the major and our brand new major champions. Until next time, though, my name is Jake. Goodbye.